How many people would agree that there isn't one person in this world who doesn't have problems? Well, I learned at an early age from my grandmother that how you handle those problems will define you as a person. I learned a lot of family traditions from my grandmother. She was very influential in my childhood. In fact, most of our family traditions come from my grandmother. The art of crocheting, ceramic painting, music, family recipes, and family values. I learned how to crochet and paint ceramics and a love for music as a child. I remember early on seeing my grandmother in her chair crocheting doilies, and I was amazed at how impossibly fast that crochet hook moved and those crazy knots came together like magic. When I was 5 or 6, she gave me my first crochet hook and a skein of yarn, and I crocheted a chain that could have gone from here to China. And by the time I was in the 6th grade, I crocheted my first set of slippers for my father on Father's Day. Some may say that one belonged to a dainty little elf who had curly toes, and another belonged to a 10-foot-tall ogre with a clubbed foot, but he insisted that they were perfect. She introduced us grandchildren to ceramics at an early age also. At Christmas time, we would paint little ornaments and other small things throughout the year. I also remember as a child seeing her on the piano bench quite frequently. She attended church functions, she played at weddings and family gatherings, and it wasn't so much that I wanted to follow in her footsteps, but I really wanted just to find my own instrument that I loved as much as she loved hers. She was always busy perfecting something, whether it was in the living room, in the ceramic shop, at the piano bench. I loved watching her and I loved learning from her, especially in the kitchen. The seasonal smells will always bring back memories of my grandmother. Summertime, we had blackberry cobbler, berry picking, but most of all, we had potato salad. And every girl in my family knows how to make the potato salad, not because we were given a written recipe, but because we stood in the kitchen and we watched her the old-fashioned way. We learned by a dash of this and a pinch of that. We also created cinnamon rolls together, which is my favorite memory. I loved making the dough and sampling the dough, rolling out the dough and sampling the dough, spreading all the brown sugar and the butter and the cinnamon everywhere and sampling that, which we learned also at an early age that was an important part of making cinnamon rolls. Finally, I would like to talk about my grandmother's strong faith and her family values. They were elders in our congregation at our church, and we were brought up to respect our elders with a strong faith in God. She was tactfully opinionated, she was wise, and even though that I may not have agreed with her perspective, I could be certain that if I didn't at least try to learn the lesson that she was teaching me, it would be repeated until I got it right. My grandmother's traditions are felt in my everyday life. Whether I'm cooking dinner, playing music, teaching my own children how to read music, or teaching my daughters how to crochet, she will forever be part of the generations that learn her lessons. She is timeless. She is the embodiment of our traditions, and I am grateful and blessed that I've had the opportunity to have an amazing woman like that in my life.